welcome to Instant Reaction. Straight after the Leeds Warrington game, 26-22 victory to Leeds. Belting afternoon, absolutely fantastic. We've had it all: rain, wind, hail, biblical part of the weather sometimes, wasn't it, Fraser?
Yeah.
But belting game all in all. What were your thoughts, especially first half?
Well, I thought the game itself, first of all, lived up to the occasion. I thought the atmosphere and all the build-up really made it feel like a big game. It had that big game feel, and the game itself lived up to that. I thought the first half, I think everything, all the atmosphere got on top, and the ref obviously was pulling everyone for penalties at left, right and centre. We did well, Rhinos, to come in. I think only one try down with the wind against us and all of them factors. And then you sort of felt the mood sort of shifting at half time, that with the wind now behind us, we could potentially kick on in the second half.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair analysis, to be fair. I thought, first half, I thought Warrington were by far and away on the better side, by far and away better in terms of intensity, better in terms of set completion. They just seemed like they were more on top. I thought, like you said, I thought we were very lucky to still be in the game. A little bit of magic from Sivo really kept us in it, but I thought we were a little bit poor. Second half, however, I thought our intensity just jumped right up, and I thought we were the better side. I think that I do actually think the weather conditions, personally, I think helped us a little bit along the way, because I think it just slowed Warrington's momentum down a little bit too.
Yeah, I think it sort of halted a bit for the second half, but the rain that came down in the half time really changed how, obviously, the slipping into the ball, how people were sort of handling it. You could tell that from Croft took the kick-off, and he chose not to pass because he noticed how wet it was. He just took the tackle himself to not risk it. I thought it really showed in the second half where Rhinos were getting on top of wire, particularly stopping Ashton from getting the ball and stopping him from getting behind ball. It was always going to be a risk, and I thought both Croft and Bird, who had a phenomenal second half, they did an amazing job at shutting down any plays. Williams looked greedy at points because he couldn't get the ball away, and Ashton just weren't able to capitalise on the pace that he's got. And we just really ground out. I thought Croft had a good game in the second half, injected himself in the right areas, and Bird's really impressed me. He's a bit more direct than Newman, and he showed at points today. He really enjoyed that, and he showed passion, but in the right manner. And he was even getting us going in South Stand at end. So I think it'll be hard for Newman to get his shirt back for a while he's doing that.
I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, Newman's not been a little bit lacklustre this season on the own. A couple of real standout plays. I thought first half, especially Cameron Smith played really well for Leeds. Defensively,
yeah, he is defensively. Attackingly, maybe stifles a bit sometimes, but that's the kind of player he is.
Maybe, and I thought Ash Hanley had a brilliant game.
Yeah.
There was one set coming towards the end of the game where he made 3 tackles back to back, and then he then made that run later on through the game, right through. It was just a little bit of a captain's performance, I thought, in the end.
Similar to that OKR performance last year that he gave out.
Yes, definitely. And a couple of things for Warrington. I thought Harrison were very good today.
Yeah.
I thought Harrison, very good pro is Harrison.
Walker as always.
Walker, absolutely rock solid. You and Erwin looked a bit shaky.
Yeah, we really got into him, especially on his kicking though, and I think that put him off in second half because he were having to try and welly it and steady himself, and they really got into it.
Yeah, I hope he comes back from that though, because he's a good player, as you and Erwin, good young player, and you don't want to see a young player's confidence not like that.
Hopawate in the first half, I was really impressed defensively. Ash Handley had a good game, but he didn't get anywhere in the first half. He had his number every time, and he really does know how to shape up in defence.
They really do. And I think as well, the big surprise for me was how little potency Warrington had down that left edge, especially compared to what they did last week against Castleford.
Yeah.
And I thought with Ashton coming up against Brian Hall, there was only one way that we're going to go. But they did seem a little bit quieter down that edge, so a fair play to Leeds.
But overall, I just think the game, both teams put a performance that we were expecting. And it was that game, that quality game that everyone was hoping for.
100%.
And I'm really looking forward to the repeat of this game later on in the season, season when both teams should be firing on all cylinders with perfect weather. But the second game of this could be an absolute win.
Really good, really good. Also, fair play to Leeds for the show they put on before the game, especially. Very, very good. And it also, the Sky production pretty spot on as well. We've got to hear some of that in the ground, which was great. Not something you always get to hear, so that was really, really positive. That's it from Instant Reaction. Make sure you keep following us at Super League Raw. Back for weekly on Tuesday. There's Ladies Tackle Talk coming out on Tuesday morning, and Final Hooter coming out Monday morning as well as a number of other shows. But yeah, thanks very much for watching.